So now we're going to play with point data that came out of a DXF and clean things up a bit. First, what you're going to do is, why don't you open up your catalog and you're going to add the point data. Oh, here, let's remove that one. So this is a point data from your DXF, but still within your geodatabase, and then the polyline data. So all I'm seeing is one point, so I'm going to right click, zoom to layer, so I can capture the extent of all this data. Now I'm just showing the lines, so we're back at square one and we see what we're looking at, but I'm not even interested in these lines anymore. Really all I want is the points. Actually, the other layer that you'd like to add at this point is your trail data. So remember, this is your trail data that doesn't contain any of the radial shots, so let's turn that off. So I don't really want to keep any of these points. We could go around and edit and delete all of them, but another approach is just to export the ones that you like. So I'm going to zoom into this area here. And notice essentially what we're going to be collecting is things like lampposts. So if I select that one over here, lamppost number 1. So all the features that are on the line are probably stations, whereas the ones that are jetting off the line were radial shots to lampposts and other objects you were trying to map. So a helpful tool here is to use the Select Features tool and to select the points that are off the traverse line. So I select that first one, I'm going to hit Shift, select that, and select that. Now when you right click and you go to your attribute table, you're going to see that they have been highlighted in blue. There we go. Lamppost 1, lamppost 2. And let's look through our comments. And that's stairs. Oh, interesting. So now I'm going to look to see what other sort of comments I have, because maybe I'm missing something. And what I see is that a POT was a lamppost as well, so why don't we select that one. So Control this time, Control, and then select the little gray square at the end here. I'm interested in the stream, so why don't I select that. A point isn't necessarily good for stream, but here we go. That's okay. Control and select over here. Great. So now they're all, let's close this. These are all selected, and now it's time to export them. So right click, data, export data. And the reason I'm exporting is I just want the ones that are selected, and I want them to be in my clean trail features data set. So this is sort of like the raw DXF data within my geodatabase, and this is my clean data. So I want them to go into this one. Now it says it already exists, and would you like to write it? And I'm going to say yes. And it's going to go through the exporting process. Please note that if you have your catalog open as a separate module, you're going to have issues doing this. So make sure that catalog is closed. Do you want to add it to your map? Yes, you do. Great. So now you're going to turn this one off. And now all you've got is point data and trail data. In fact, we could remove this at this point. Remove, remove. And if you look here, list by source, these are all just data that are contained within your trail features data set. And to make things, to sort of bring things together, we're also going to add that last polygon layer, which is the sensitive grass area. Great. So here's what your map should look like. And now it's time to spend a little bit of time labeling things and making things a little more good symbology, I guess, for our map. But to do that, again, our attribute table is really messy. So you're going to clean that up by deleting all the fields. And I can walk you through that step once again. So here you're going to go and look for delete fields. And you can slide your point feature over here, and it's going to show all sorts of data that you don't want. And I'm not 100% clear what it is that I don't want, but I know all this color, ent color, block color, line. I'm just going to delete all that stuff. We'll keep elevation. Might as well delete thickness. See all this stuff. You're just going to delete all of that. This is information that comes out of the DXF export from, why don't we leave our comment? And maybe, I don't recall, maybe we'll leave hub. So this all comes out from that export from Roadeng, but we're just going to clean it up a bit. And again, you can see at the bottom here that it's busy processing. My sense is it might be done, but I'm not sure. Oh, now it looks like it's done. Okay, so why don't we right click on here and open up that attribute table, and it's much more reasonable at this point. So you probably could delete these other two. So if you right click, delete field, yes, and then why don't we delete these as well? Okay, that's probably not necessary. So that was just your station number. Great. So now the other thing you want to do is clean up this data. So you can now symbolize things. So if it's a lamppost, it's a lamppost, and you shouldn't have any other details associated with it under comments. You could also change this and call it type or something like that. So what we're going to do is, in order to edit this stuff, here's where you can delete and add fields, but to actually edit the contents, you need to start your editor. And we're picking, in fact, it doesn't matter as long as you make sure you pick that geodatabase, but the point features are what we're going to be working with. Great. So now you can go in here and you're going to call this lamppost, lamppost, lamppost. That'll be stream, stairs, and lamppost. If you want ArcMap to recognize that these are all the same, you need to make sure they're spelt out the same. Otherwise, you can you'll have to join things together or merge things together in Symbology. So for fun, why don't I make one a little bit different? We'll call that one lamppost final. And I'll show you what I mean. Stop, save edits. Great. Oh, and here's the other thing I want to do. Right click properties, is we're going to change that to something else, and we'll call it type. Good. So we'll close this editor, stop editing. Great. Now you're going to go into properties, symbology, categories. You're going to go by type, add all values. Now notice how the lamp, we got stairs. Here, maybe we'll look for stairs. Let's see if there's a stair symbol. Stair. This is very slow. I'm not sure if there is one. Oh, sure. Why don't we add... I kind of like the way this one looks, so I'm going to add that. And let's see if there's stream. Stream cobble. Not exactly what I'm looking for. What else could we look for? Maybe river. Okay, that's a little more interesting. Oh, maybe that's a good one here. River. Okay, and then now I want these to be symbolized the same, even though they have a different name. So I showed you how to do this a while ago, but just click on one, and then click Shift and select the other, and then you're going to right click and group values. And here you're going to label it as lamp post. And then you're going to search for lamp post. Now I don't care what type of symbols you use. In my opinion, it's whatever looks best. So you can play around with different types of symbols, but consider maybe making sure that things, even though there can be these funky symbols, that maybe sometimes they just don't look that great on a map. So even though this is lamp hole, even though there's all these lamppost type symbols, I actually don't really like the look of them, and I think I'd like to have something more consistent with the style that I'm working with. So that's just me being a little bit picky. Okay, great. So now the last thing you're going to do is go into Symbology, and you're going to re-symbolize using two different values, unique values, many. So this is what you need to pick here, many fields. And then remember, we've got our width and we've got our surface. And play around with that. You can set it to different widths, different colors. For now, I'm just going to put something boring, and I'm going to apply. And you're ready now to wrap up and create a final map.